The world watches with bated breath. Iran edges closer to nuclear capability. A nuclear-armed Iran poses a grave threat to the United States and its allies. The potential consequences of a nuclear attack are almost too terrible to contemplate. Recent events have heightened these concerns. Intelligence reports suggest Iran could soon possess enough enriched uranium for a nuclear weapon. This terrifying prospect has galvanized the US government into action. The urgency of the situation cannot be overstated. Iran's nuclear ambitions represent a clear and present danger to global security. The international community must work together to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. Failure is not an option. From achieving its nuclear ambitions. The threat from Iran has united the United States Congress. Both Democrats and Republicans express deep concern about Iran's nuclear program. A bipartisan resolution has been introduced in Congress. This resolution sends a clear message to Iran. The U.S. will not tolerate a nuclear-armed Iran. The resolution demands Iran cease its uranium enrichment. It also calls for an end to the development of nuclear-capable missiles. The U.S. Congress stands united in its resolve. They are prepared to consider all options to prevent a nuclear Iran. The message is clear. Iran must choose diplomacy or face the consequences. Iran's regional influence has waned in recent years. Their network of proxies has been significantly weakened. This is due in part to successful Israeli operations against Iranian-backed groups. The collapse of the Assad regime in Syria has also dealt a blow to Iran's regional ambitions. Iran relied heavily on Syria as a conduit for supplying weapons to Hezbollah in Lebanon. Despite these setbacks, Iran remains a dangerous actor. They may see nuclear weapons as a way to regain lost prestige and influence. The international community must remain vigilant in countering Iranian aggression. Section 5. Reaching America's shores, delivery mechanisms, and potential targets. A key question remains, how could Iran deliver a nuclear weapon to the United States? While they lack intercontinental ballistic missiles currently, Iran has been developing its missile technology. There are concerns that Iran could develop or acquire long-range missiles in the future. This would give them the capability to strike targets on U.S. soil. The potential consequences are unthinkable. Major U.S. cities would be the most likely targets in a nuclear attack. New York, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, and other major metropolitan areas are all vulnerable. The human cost of such an attack would be catastrophic. It is an option that remains on the table. Section 7. Beyond retaliation, diplomatic avenues and global security. While military options must be considered, diplomacy remains the preferred path. The international community must work together to find a peaceful solution to the Iranian nuclear crisis. Direct talks with Iran are essential. The goal should be to revive the 2015 nuclear deal or negotiate a new agreement. This would require Iran to agree to strict limits on its nuclear program. The United States should also work with its allies to increase pressure on Iran. This could include tougher economic sanctions and diplomatic isolation. The message must be clear: Iran cannot be allowed to acquire nuclear weapons. Section 8. The stakes: global security and the balance. The stakes could not be higher. A nuclear-armed Iran would destabilize the entire Middle East. It would also increase the risk of nuclear proliferation worldwide. Other countries in the region might feel compelled to acquire their own nuclear weapons. This could lead to a dangerous arms race. The consequences are too terrible to contemplate. The international community must work together to prevent this nightmare scenario from becoming a reality. The time for action is now. The future of global security hangs in the balance. Section 9. A call to action. Preventing nuclear catastrophe. The threat posed by Iran's nuclear ambitions is real and urgent. The international community must act decisively to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. We must use all the tools at our disposal. This includes diplomacy, sanctions, and if necessary, military action. We must also work to strengthen the global non-proliferation regime. The consequences of inaction are too great to bear. We must work together to ensure a safer and more secure world for all. The time for complacency is over. The time for action is now.